Good morning, class. Today I'm going to talk to you about a highly controversial topic in American politics today, and that is gun control. Many argue that gun control is necessary to prevent crime and domestic terrorism, but others argue that it's a constitutional right in order for a population to be able to defend itself from a tyrannical government. There is no doubt gun control would help to lessen crime because of a shortage of guns in the market. However, it would not be entirely to stop crime done with guns altogether. The right to bear arms is not only the Second Amendment on the Bill of Rights that was composed by our country's founding fathers, but it's also the reason our founding fathers were able to fight for this country in the first place. In the highly acclaimed privately run newscasting company known as the Patriot Post, it was found that in 1785, Thomas Jefferson himself once stated in a letter to Peter Carr, "A strong body makes the mind strong. As to the species of exercise, I advise the gun. While this gives moderate exercise to the body, it gives boldness, enterprise, and independence to the mind. Games played with the ball and others of that nature are too violent for the body and stamp no character on the mind. Let the gun therefore be your constant companion of your walks." The American government is not only abusing their power to govern a modern society, but also already in violation of our Second Amendment rights with laws restricting different gun types and magazine capacities. It's clear to see that after World War I, the agreement of the Treaty of Versailles, which has also included the ban of guns, had left Germany in a hopeless black hole of debt and to the Allied powers and defiant upon the treaty's terms, which led to the rise of the Nazi Party. John Simkin, author of several history books and creator of Spartacus educational website, showed that Germany's army was reduced to 100,000 men, as well as no tanks, submarines, or an air force. As the terms of the Treaty of Versailles at the end of World War I. The reason being that the United Nations had hoped to bring the world closer together by peacefully integrating leaders of countries and having no secret alliances. In the coming of the following 10 or so years, major poverty, inflammation, and crime soared and led to the rise of Chancellor Adolf Hitler, who brought Germany back to its feet and was the main culprit of starting World War II. Hitler's reluctant willingness to abide to the ban was shown throughout World War II. There are many instances in which the government has tried to ban guns. In the book Culture, Gun Control, Firearms, Violence, and Society, Peter Squires shows that although the British have outlawed handguns, they are seldom very far from our headlines. And the UK's leading political news, west known as politics.co.uk, it was found that in 2007, despite the handguns ban under the 97 Firearms Amendment research, it carried out the follow implementation of the act that saw a 40% increase in the number of gun crime incidents in the UK. It was also found that the Chinese government, who imposed a gun ban in 1996, forbidding the private manufacture, sale, transport, possession, import, or export of bullets and guns, including replicas, to all of the public, continues to have gun crimes still grabbing headlines. In the article Staring Down the Barrel of the Rise of Guns in China, James already showed that last year a man in northeast China went on a rampage with a homemade pistol, killing 5 family members and neighbors. In September 2007, a young Gaza man was found guilty of using a replica gun to rob a bank customer of $218,000 and drew a 19-year prison sentence. It was also found that in December, a guard at the munitions dump machine gunned a colleague over a chess match. Merely banning weapons does not stop crime from happening. It leaves the non-gun bearing innocent in the wake of terror and hopelessness from criminals eager to harm others at whatever the cost may be. The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution reads, "A well-regulated military being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." In California, as well as a select few other states, laws are enforced to control types, munition sizes, and even magazine capacities that, if violated, result in major jail time. The world-renowned National Rifle Association shows California law reads, "It is unlawful to offer for manufacture, sale, or give or lend any assault weapon or 50 caliber BMG rifle. It is unlawful to possess an assault weapon unless it is properly registered with the state. The definition of infringed is to transgress or exceed the limits of, or violate." This being said, it is clear to see that the state of California is already in violation of the people's rights to keep and bear arms by restricting the guns a citizen can obtain. Critics argue that enforcing gun restrictions will stop school shootings and homicides. However, Texas Attorney General Greg Abbott found that more people are killed with hammers and clubs each year than rifles. And the FBI homicide data table shows for years, 2005 to 2011, proved it true. You don't see any restrictions on hammers, do you? A gun is not a weapon that claims lives of the innocent. It is a tool used for defense, hunting, and gaming, and is even a competition sporting event in the world-renowned Olympic Games. The Second Amendment was put into place not only for the protection of self, but for the protection from foreign influences that contradict the United States ideals of freedom, as well as the protection of the United States citizens from their own government. Guns are the last line of defense between a population and its country. If the United States government were to take guns from its citizens, what else would they be willing to take, and how would we stop them? In today's times, there are far more important issues that need to be reconstructed. Every day, U.S. citizens and people around the world died from things like disease and hunger more than from guns or even crime in general. With a grand international system like our governments, perhaps a time where freedoms begin to seem more and more like a dictatorship is upon us. Perhaps in these lives of today's generations, plagued with excessive government control and debt that cannot be paid, the time to start showing that we as a people, guns in hand, will not stand for this idiocracy.